A good weekend to you and welcome once more to the Fox 54 Weekend Review, an entire week's worth of local coverage condensed into a half-hour program. And we do have a lot to cover for you in this episode. For example, the wild vision of a smoke-nado. Yes, our Emily Owen will explain just how this rare phenomenon happened over in Colbert County this week. We'll tell you about a walk-on role, one that local football standout Neelan Hibbett has taken with him to the Crimson Tide, in a profile by our Nick Kuzma. And we'll take you to Toyota Fields and the details about this couple's contest win, leading them to exchange their wedding vows at the home of the Trash Pandas. That's all still ahead. Our top story this week takes us back to Decatur and the continued strain between Mayor Tat Bowling and citizens fighting for justice in the Steve Perkins police shooting. Efforts the mayor says he's taken to mend that fractured relationship between the city and its people being met with negative response, and it's by the groups representing Perkins' family. Decatur Mayor Tat Bowling with a message saying he could have done things better following a meeting with demonstrators looking for justice in the death of Steve Perkins, who was shot and killed nearly a year ago by a Decatur police officer. One of the demonstrators said the mayor negotiated terms to step down if demonstrations outside the mayor's house would stop. But now that new details of the terms have become public, demonstrators say they feel slighted. They say another plan suggests that if Bowling were to step down, Councilmember Billy Jackson would become mayor. However, according to Decatur City Council, protocol would call for Council President Jacob Ladner to become mayor, which they understood the plan to be according to their meeting.
He sold it to them that Billy was going to go up as mayor. And we know that that's not the right protocol because it would go for Jacob would go up. So that was misunderstanding. And I had a lot of community members that was upset with me, and I will not sell out my community.
Yeah, it was trash. It was very unserious. The mayor came in with some demands that we couldn't make feasible. As far as community leaders, we couldn't sell out our community for him to just leave his office.
Standing in Power co-founder Terrence Atkins says by selling out the community, he means
he wanted us to stop doing public comments and stop protesting outside of his house, which those are both our First Amendment rights to do.
And Atkins says in order for them to do some of the things the mayor is requesting,
it would mean that he actually did his job. So we cannot stand beside a mayor or stop the protesting in front of his house until he actually does his job.
For Standing in Power strategic advisor Danny Safaya, progress was made.
Both sides were in a room listening and trying to hear each other out.
Safaya says they've been asking for the same thing from the beginning.
Accountability and transparency, Todd Pinion to be let go, fired, resigned, whatever he needed to do, that Mayor Bowling be, resigned.
And Atkins believes the truth of the matter is
we're looking for justice for Steve, so it doesn't matter about the meetings that we've had with him or that he wants to have. If he's not going to give us in this community justice and make sure that things are done right for this city, then it really doesn't matter.
I reached out to Mayor Bowling for a further comment on the matter, and he was unwilling to share any further details at this time. Indicator, Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News.
And Standing in Power members say they're always available to talk to anyone, whether it's the mayor, the chief of police, because the point is, quote, not to be right, but to get it right, end quote. At Sparkman High School, where the friends and family celebrated the life of Jaden DeJarnette, the 16-year-old who died in a car crash after being chased by police across Morgan County nearly a year ago.
1, 2, 3.
Red, black, and white balloons were released into the sky in Jaden's memory. The family called this a celebration of his life, and spirits were high. Hugs given and a recommitment was made to finding justice for their loved one.
We can't bring Jaden back. So right now all we have to concentrate on is how do we change the Decatur Police Department for the good. And that's what we're seeking. Any kind of justice has to include a department that has to be revamped, policies that has to be relooked at and adjusted to make sure that this does not happen to not only anybody's child, but anybody, period.
No internal investigation was done by Decatur police in the immediate aftermath of DeJarnette's death. And after Aaliyah turned over their investigation to the Lawrence County District Attorney, A grand jury found that the Decatur police officers that chased DeJarnette would not face any charges. DeJarnette's death happened a few weeks before the shooting death of Steve Perkins by a Decatur police officer. With the recent findings of 6 dead Israeli hostages, the Jewish community in the States in mourning of those losses. Our Gabe Glassman joins us now, who was out in the community tonight with people who are still grieving. Gabe, what can you tell us?
Well, thanks, Tanisha. The number is 334. That's how many days it's been since the horrific event took place on October 7th, 2023. 3 days ago on Sunday, 6 Israeli hostages were found dead by officials. Tonight, a community gathering was held in honor of those hostages and the others still in captivity. This was a scene earlier tonight at Temple B'nai Shalom in downtown Huntsville. People in attendance tonight supporting each other through these tough times. I spoke with Rabbi P.J. Schwartz about why it's important to have the community gather at times like this.
It's really important for the Jewish community to hold events like these and demonstrate a sense of solidarity, but also demonstrate a sense of awareness. We need to come together to respond to tragedy, to respond to horror, and in this particular case, respond to terror and respond to murder.
And Kenesha, Rabbi Schwartz also tells me this is not the only event being planned leading up to the one-year Remembrance Day.
Some people in Limestone County say they're not happy. In fact, what you're about to hear, they say isn't right. It's about a bid proposal for the next animal shelter contract. The proposal includes an animal retention clause that says no animal shall remain in the animal pound for longer than 14 days. Our Jasmine Bird has the details.
A group of concerned citizens gathered during a Limestone County Commission meeting Tuesday morning, expressing concerns over a new proposal set by the Commission for bids to be the county's shelter. Some residents believe this is not the answer.
And I'm sorry, but let's speak quiet. Yes. We can't keep bringing in people and growth and think they're not bringing in animals too.
County Attorney Drew Deal says they've received 2 bids.
So the county a few weeks ago issued a request for proposals asking for proposals from anyone who is interested in operating the animal pound for the county. Under Alabama law, the county is charged with operating a suitable animal pound to make sure that animals running at large are dealt with. Those being dogs, cats, and ferrets.
Ultimately, 1 bid was withdrawn and the other bid was deemed to be non-conforming.
The commission did not award an animal pound contract.
Athens Limestone Shelter Executive Director Dr. Elizabeth O'Connor says October 1st is the end of their contract.
Those animals will have to be transported to whatever facilities they are deeming appropriate.
O'Connor says the average length of stay in the animal shelter is 14 days, but 32% of animals stay longer than that.
So if you were to say, animals couldn't stay longer than 14 days, then you'd have to euthanize 32% of the animals in the shelter.
While some residents are against the county's proposal, some residents support it.
I don't think the county needs to be in the mode of paying to room and board animals for any indefinite period of time.
Currently, the Limestone County Commission is in the planning phase to operate its own animal pound facility. In Athens, Jasmine Bird, FOX54 News.
Some of us celebrating this Labor Day with good food, fun, and fellowship. Some others, though, observe today as a time for relaxation. For those who may be wondering what Labor Day is really all about, hey, it's an annual celebration of the social and economic achievements of American workers. Our Jasmine Bird takes us to Tuscumbia, where the labor union workers are embracing that ideal.
We are here at the annual 105th Labor Day celebration right here in Tuscumbia, and I am joined by Roderick Metcalf. Thank you for joining me. Kind of talk to me about your whole role today. I know you're part of the union, labor union workers. Talk to me about your role today and just what this means to you.
This means a lot to us and all our labor unions. We come together annually on Labor Day, which was created for labor unions. I'm with the IBEW Local 558, and this is put on by the Shrewsbury Labor Council.
It's It's a day full of live music, giveaways, prize drawings, and other family activities. Max Sloan is the president of the Labor Council and says this event is one of the longest running Labor Day celebration festivities in the country.
This is celebrating of all labor, not just unions. This is anyone that is in the middle class that works hard and provides for their family. This is a day of recognition that we give to all of them, saying thank you for all your service.
For the event chairman, Belinda Phillips, it's a team effort.
All the unions in our area come together, and we're all actually delegates from different local unions. So I'm IBW, but all the other local unions in the area are part of this and are part of planning it.
For some, like Tuscumbia resident Sheila Bryant, this is her first year attending the event with her family, and she looks forward to seeing it in action for many more years to come.
We just seen it advertised on Facebook, decided we'd come down and try it out.
Dalton Chupp is from Florence and has a word of advice for those who never attended this Labor Day celebration.
If they haven't came, they need to come and try it out and check it out.
The grand prize giveaway for today's event was a zero-turn Cub Cadet lawnmower sitting on a trailer with a weed eater and blower provided. In Tuscumbia, Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News.
Looks like a day well spent. Participants today say labor unions do have employment and they encourage parents to send their children to their local labor unions. They say it's because some of the benefits include a 4-year education, no student loans when they graduate, access to Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, and students can build retirement funds while they learn.
Madison County officials say there are around 450 children in foster care, and oftentimes making that transition can be difficult for both the child and the foster parents. Our Gabe Glassman was at Unclaimed Baggage to learn more about a program designed to help kids with those transitions.
A very special thing that we're able to do is our love luggage painting.
Officials say there are around 6,000 children in Alabama foster care. The transition into a new home for many is difficult without a suitcase.
So many children in the foster care system have to carry their items in black trash bags, which is just a heartbreaking message to hear.
I feel like they really need something, to put their stuff in, because, not that many foster children get that.
There's an unfortunate underlying message for the kids who have to use trash bags as baggage.
No matter what is happening at home, that's still mom and dad, that is their home, and they're being pulled out, they're being tossed away, and so there's already that feeling of being disposable.
Hard-cased suitcases get used for Unclaimed Baggage's Love Luggage campaign.
These suitcases are donated to foster children in our area.
These bags are also painted by anyone in the community who wants to. For team member Shalma Hamatus, she wanted to make sure her paintings could be relatable to the kids in need.
I know how much they enjoy cartoons, and I was like, I want to do something fun,
The campaign also helps parents who need to act on their feet when receiving a new foster child.
There are many times that a foster parent might receive a call and they have to be ready, in a second to accept a child coming into their new home.
Many love luggages come with a first day bag filled with first day essentials to help lessen the burden on the foster children and parents. Those who paint and volunteer their time leave feeling they've helped a child in need of a new suitcase.
I just really think that it's an amazing opportunity for us to do something amazing for the kids because they really deserve it.
Check out this incredible video from Colbert County as a smoke tornado develops and passes over a grass fire. This video was shot by Jordan Davis, the assistant chief with the Nitrate City Volunteer Fire Department. Watch as it spins up all the smoke from the fire, which, by the way, is now completely out. Emily, we want to be clear. This was not an actual tornado, right?
Yeah, that is exactly right, Ken. Basically, the way that this came to fruition was we had a nearby thunderstorm. We had the outflow winds from the thunderstorm. It's called an outflow, is basically self-explanatory. And the smoke from the fire just kind of collided with that outflow. And that's how we got that vortex, that smoke tornado, if you will, that happened. But thankfully, they were able to control the fire, put it all out. So we got to witness something cool out of it this afternoon from the rain, but the rain is still much needed across the Tennessee Valley.
It's that time of the year to enjoy some German cuisine under some space history. The U.S. Space and Rocket Center held its opening night for the Beer Garden event. You can enjoy beer, German food, and relax while taking in some of the exhibits at the Davison Center for Space Exploration. Officials say it's a great chance to have dinner in a unique environment.
These recipes came from someone whose grandmother is German, and so we are having a fantastic schnitzel and brats and pretzels and all kinds of fun stuff. It's just a great fun evening and a great way to relax with your family. It's just our way of giving back to the community that gives so much to us and supports us in so many ways, and we just are happy to share this big, beautiful space with everyone.
Sounds like a lot of fun, and if you missed tonight, don't worry. The Beer Garden is available every Thursday until October 24th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. From hand sketches to AI, animation has changed rapidly over the years. Our Gabe Glassman takes a deep dive into the evolution of the animated world at the Huntsville Museum of Art.
When animation started, it was very basic. So everything was hand-drawn.
This hand-drawn dinosaur from 1914 was the start of the animated universe.
This is one of the very first objects that we have from animation history.
And on display at the Huntsville Museum of Art is the Journey into Imagination exhibit.
We have 140 pieces of objects on view right now.
Those pieces range from claymation to CGI, featuring the behind-the-scenes details of your favorite characters.
It's really interesting to see the characters that you love come to life.
The exhibit also features creations like Steamboat Willie, and the desk where some of the Looney Tunes personalities were born.
For me personally, it's like walking down memory lane. So reliving my childhood, and there's nothing better than that.
And we've come a long way from Gertie the dinosaur and even computer-generated imagery, like what was used in Tron. Now animators are using current technology like AI to recreate some of our favorite animated characters.
And now you can just put in some prompts and tell AI what to do and it'll create something for you.
It goes without saying, there's been a lot of change in the 100+ years of animation history.
You could see the evolution of how it has evolved over the years.
Even though the way characters are created is changing, the passion for the project will never go away.
I believe that the love for these animated characters will always be there. No matter what holds the future for animation, I think that it's still going to embody the spirit of humanity and the love for animation, a love for these characters and the connection to that.
The Journey into Imagination exhibit is on display until September 29th. In Huntsville, I'm Gabe Glassman, FOX54 News.
That's pretty cool. If you visit the exhibit, there's also a scavenger hunt available to immerse yourself further in animation history.
Now, Fox 54 Top Teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
Fox 54's Top Teacher is back. The students are settling in, and so are the teachers. We're going to kick the year off in Florence, spotlighting a teacher who is new to public education. This year's a first for her. We're excited to introduce to you Briley Borden from Wheaton Elementary School.
Now, how can we solve
Welcome to
This is my first time in public schools.
Briley Borden's 4th grade class.
I've always loved math. I've always wanted to be a math teacher.
Borden also teaches science at Wheaton Elementary School.
Plant and animal what? What's our big buzzword we've been talking about this week?
And although she's green to teaching public schools with a shirt to prove it,
You're going to write 5 adaptations of that animal.
She's expecting a lot of success from her 4th graders.
I'm just looking forward to seeing the progression of growth, seeing where they came from and seeing how far we can push them and their number sense and, their conceptual understanding about math and, diving into science, doing some experiments.
She says she's put in the time too, at one point walking into school at
6:30.
And then
I walked out of here at 7:30. So just being able to, really commit to it, put it first and do all that you can to make it always reflecting.
So for some people, it's no surprise.
Congratulations, you have been chosen as Fox Top Teacher, FOX54 Top Teacher.
She was surprised as a top teacher. Her principal, Daphne Hogan, says she's setting a standard.
She's already proven herself at the beginning. She's a hard worker. The students love her. So hoping we're off to a great start, and this will continue throughout.
Borden with a bit of hope for her students.
Just being someone that they can love on, that know, I love you, I care about you, I want the best for you. So yeah, it's really all about the kids.
Congratulations, Briley. We learned a bit more about her. She told us what inspired her to go into teaching, but we have a web exclusive on who. Visit fox54.com to find out and nominate a teacher. Local resident is up for what's called the Walls Benevolent Beard Award, but this man didn't just trim his own beard to earn him the nomination. Our Gabe Glassman caught up with the nominee to see why he deserves the grand prize.
The winner wins $20,000 and then extra $5,000 for the organization.
Rodney Smith Jr. has been nominated for Wall's Benevolent Beard Contest. The organization he would donate to is his own, Raising Men and Women Lawn Care Service, which started in 2016.
One day, and I came across an elderly man outside mowing his lawn, and it looked like he was struggling. So I done what anyone would do. I pulled over and helped him out. But little did I know that one small act of kindness would eventually change my life forever.
The free lawn mowing company is available for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans.
I believe it's my life work, and I believe it's my purpose. If you ever see a horse in a race, they have these blinders on their eyes just to keep them straight and focused, and I believe that's what God's doing for me. So while I know we're making a difference, I just do my best to keep focused and keep on the mission.
It's not just Rodney mowing lawns. Over 5,000 kids from 8 countries have risen up for the mission. Around 500 have mowed over 50 yards, which earned them a special gift.
I present them a brand new mower, weed eater, and blower for completing this.
And while it's one man up for the award, he's glad to be able to make an impact on those who receive free lawn care and the kids who have signed up to help.
When they can come mow someone's lawn for free, just getting a nice thank you, makes them feel good, knowing that they're making a difference, helping that person. I came across this elderly man struggling, and I felt at that moment God was showing me what my purpose was. And ever since that day, I've been mowing free lawns for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans. And I'm encouraging kids across the country to get out and mow through our program.
And if you wanted to vote for Rodney Smith Jr. in the Benevolent Beard Contest, you have until September 9th to do so. In Huntsville, I'm Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
That's a pretty neat feature, Gabe, trying to get some mowing in. Well, you can find where to vote and more information on Raising Men and Women Lawn Care Service on our website at fox54.com.
When I first found out about long snapping, my first thought was maybe I could play for Alabama doing this.
Playing at Bryant-Denny Stadium. A dream for high schoolers everywhere, but it became a reality for lifelong Crimson Tide fan and Florence native Neil Hibbett when he embraced his opportunity as a preferred walk-on in 2021.
As soon as I got to Tuscaloosa, it was extremely surreal, and being able to be around the guys that I was watching a season before, since I was such a big fan, it was just a really cool experience. But the moment I got here and got the opportunity, there was just no stopping my mind from telling myself I'm going to be the starting snapper for the next 4 years.
And that's what Hibbett did. From snapping and occasionally even catching a touchdown pass as a Florence Falcon.
Caleb Mahan finds Neelan Hibbett in the end zone, 14-yard touchdown.
To becoming a 4-year starter and first-team All-SEC selection at the University of Alabama. The long snapper has accomplished a lot, and his old high school coach says he respects that he found a way to get himself on the field.
He doesn't necessarily have the body type to be an Alabama offensive lineman or Alabama tight end or all those kinds of things, but he does have one to be able to snap the ball with great velocity and cover punts and protect on field goals and all those kinds of things. So I think it was very perceptive on his part to be able to identify, hey, if I want to do what I've always dreamed of doing, I've got to do it differently than some other people.
During the offseason, Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer pointed out that long snappers are often undervalued by a lot of people, but the new leader in T-Town proved he isn't in line with that thinking, putting Hibbett on scholarship heading into his final season as a member of the Crimson Tide.
He deserves that. He's rock solid and just a great person. We have senior talks that we do, and he started us off last week and knocked it out of the park. Just you can see the type of leader that he is, and how much the guys trust and believe in him, how much they respect him.
Now, the guy who probably has to have the most trust in him is punter and field goal holder James Burnip. The Aussie won his starting job the same year as Hibbett, and the chemistry between the two is obvious.
Just being able to have that relationship with Nealand, knowing exactly where that ball was going to come, how quick it's coming, and just knowing each other off the field as well is really helpful when it comes to game time, just knowing that we have each other's back.
But it takes more than just on-field friendships to manage the pressures of student-athlete life at Alabama, and luckily through it all, Hibbett says his mom has been one call away.
She's been in a lot of situations I've been in. She went to college here, went through a lot of adversity as a family together, and she's always just been extremely supportive of me and anything I needed to do.
Hibbett says his dream is to play in the NFL, but for the time being, he's just focusing on the season ahead. But if he is remembered for anything from his time in Tuscaloosa, he hopes it's this.
You don't have to have a star role to be a leader, have an impact on the team. When I talked to him, I said, I can't go out and make the game-winning play or score the game-winning touchdown for our team, but I can do stuff right off the field and leave an impact to show guys what the standard is.
Hibbett and the Crimson Tide continue the regular season on Saturday in a Week 2 matchup versus the University of South Florida. In Tuscaloosa, I'm Nick Kuzma, Fox 54 Sports.
During week 1 of the high school football season, we saw some amazing performances on the field by many student athletes, but only one could earn the title of First Down Friday Night MVP of week 1. Last week, Randolph had a victory for the ages as the Raiders defeated Madison Academy 32-31 in an early region matchup. During the victory, Noah Gaunt stepping his game way up. The senior wideout hauled in 153 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns, then went to the defensive side of the ball and scored another TD to bring his total to 3. For his efforts, Noah is our First Down Friday Night MVP of week 1, which is brought to you by Whataburger. This is the first time Noah has ever played both ways, and it worked out well.
I had to play both ways for the first time this season, and so I was just happy that I was able to fill a good role for the team. Like I said, we were missing Graham, our safety, and so I had to step in there, play offense and defense, and so I was just glad I was able to kind of fill his role the best I could and contribute to the big win.
All right, meet Mr. and Mrs. Borden. They just got married today at Toyota Field tonight. The newlyweds getting supplied everything from the dress to the rings from the local shops here in the Rocket City. The show's area couple beating out dozens of other couples in a contest for the lavish wedding on the Diamond. The Borden's entry included that Katie was recently diagnosed with a rare form of lymphoma. Instead of waiting until the original wedding date in the fall, they wanted to do it big with one of they loved most, baseball.
Well, that is just too sweet.
It is.
I would have to say. I mean, and if you've ever been to a Trash Pandas game, you know how extraordinary their fireworks show is. I mean, imagine having a wedding and then getting to experience that.
I mean, a game of baseball and a wedding, like how could you beat that for your big day?
And not much people can say they got married at Toyota Field.
Exactly.
Congratulations to them both. A beautiful way to end this edition of the Week in Review. Remember, for more headlines throughout the week, visit fox54.com. Have our mobile apps handy too. Also, look for more exclusive programming on Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices. For all of us at Fox 54 News, I'm Kenesha Dees.